Welcome back to GBGuns Armory, a series going over stuff reviewed in the past. I'm giving a little more thoughts and feels, also your chance to give your thoughts and feels since this is stuff that's been out for a while. It's not the cutting edge, it's not the breaking news anymore. Today, this beast, this is the Rock Island Armory 6-inch match tactical 10 mil. It is a single stack 1911, 6-inch barrel, all steel. Target rear sight, fiber optic front, plenty of rail space, big old beast of a gun. Whew. Heavy spring. It's just one of those that's fun to have. Like, it's 10 millimeter per SAMI spec is meant for a 5-inch barrel, so that's what you want if you want to get performance that matches what you're expecting or what the box labels when you buy 10 mil ammo. A 6-inch gun definitely gives you extra velocity, making 10 more all the more powerful. This thing being all steel weighs a ton. You just have single stack capacity. I'm kind of okay with that because if this were a double stack, it would just be too huge of a gun. I have some wonderful custom grips on here that Illuma Grips did for me with the GBGuns logo in the center there. This isn't a gun I shoot very often, largely because it's 10 mil. I don't really have a need for 10 millimeter. It is nice to have a reference piece to meet or exceed the promises of the caliber, since a lot of 10 mils out there, including one recently or soon to be over on the main channel, the new Taurus TH10. It's a 4 1/4 inch barrel. So while it gives people that affordable 10 mil they wanted, the barrel is shorter than the SAMI spec test barrel, which means none of your loads are going to be as advertised. At least they shouldn't be. Maybe if you're real high altitude, you'll be okay. And there is no SAMI spec for plus P 10 mil, so anything you see that's 10 mil plus P is madman science, unproven stuff. Other than that, feature set on this thing, it's got that Rock Island almost there kind of thing. So for example, the mainspring housing on the back, very finely checkered, it grabs in, we've got a nice extended grip safety. But the front strap just has this divot, and inside that divot are some vertical stripes. Vertical stripes only help add resistance to twisting this way, but that's not what a gun wants to do. A gun wants to rock up and down. So those vertical slits actually make it slicker and want to allow the gun to rotate more. It's been a while since I've shot it, so I don't recall the recoil on it, but with this much mass, I'm sure you feel some slam in the wrist. Maybe I'll take it out and we'll shoot it again, get a feel for it. But it does have ambi safeties. They are narrow safeties, a little too narrow to ride the thumb on. So I guess what I'm getting at here is it's another confused identity gun, at least in my opinion. We do have a full-length guide rod, which is nice, until you go to field strip it, and it's a big old pain in the butt to take it apart. But I guess with a gun like this, you're not going to be field stripping super often because you're probably not shooting a ton. Slide frame play is a bit excessive for what you'd expect from an all-steel gun, but it's a Rock Island, so it's an affordable piece. So who's this really for? I'm not sure. I suppose it could be argued that it's a hunting piece. I'm sure folks up in Alaska would love a 6-inch 10 mil for backcountry carry, but it's a heavy gun. I haven't had to carry backcountry big guns. Here in Oregon, we have black bear, but not brown bear, and certainly not polar bear to worry about. So I haven't felt the need to carry something this big, nor am I backcountry all that often. But I do know that 10 millimeter is popular up in Alaska for that cause. However, as you guys saw in my post over on GBGuns Depot about what happened in 2023, the real sales numbers of what was a mover and a shaker, we saw that 44 Magnum is more popular than 10 millimeter. For all the noise on the internet about 10 mil, it must not be selling very much, because 44 Magnum is not super popular at all, and it's a revolver cartridge at that. So when you consider revolver versus semi-auto for range time and who's consuming more ammo, the fact that 44 Rem Mag outsold 10mm tells me that not a lot of people spend a lot of range time with 10mm. So why do I have this thing? Well, because it's fun and it's cool. It's kind of it. It's not how I would want a 1911 if I were going to have one truly custom built for me. There's definitely some things I would change, but to have a 6-inch 10mm is awesome because you don't see them all that often. And it did include a rather nice mag well. It's probably one of the most functional funnel type mag wells for a 1911, which reloading single stacks can be a bear. Of course, that would require having more than one magazine. So I guess we get another flop there. Interesting piece though. I'm curious what kind of 10mm you guys have, and if you knew about that 5-inch barrel thing. I always talk about the 4-inch barrel for 9mm. Well, the Sammy spec for 10mm is a 5-incher. So have you ever considered a 6? That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.